When I got that call, man, it was just amazing. And Chad called me and said, hey, Marko, I've been seeing your stuff. People talk to me about you. I would really invite you to be part of this. Read the script, see if you like it. And I'm like, I like it. He's like, no, just read it first, man. Lo primero. I got it. He's like, I do fast reading. Like, okay, I like it. Hi, this is Marko Zaror, and this is When Zay Zay Met. And today, Zay Zay met me.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Cómo está mi gente? I am Zay Zay, and welcome to When Zay Zay Met. Today, we're meeting with an amazing martial artist who's made his way to screens big and small all over the world. His new movie is John Wick 4, and I gotta tell you, I cannot wait to watch this man work. Today, he's here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love. This is Marko Zaror.
Hey.
How you doing today?
Very good, man. Thank you for having me.
It's good to meet you. It's wonderful to meet you, actually. I've been watching your work, oh my gosh, since the 90s, really, right? You've been like rocking out, kicking butt on all the screens and making it happen.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long journey. Man.
I can imagine. Okay, vamos a empezar. You're from Chile, right? You were born in Santiago?
Santiago, sí.
What was that like for you growing up as a little kid in Santiago, Chile?
What can I say? It was I was very passionate and connected with martial arts since I was a kid. My mother was a martial artist that kind of supported me. But my big moment was when I saw Enter the Dragon of Bruce Lee. And yeah, man, I was the freak of the school because everybody is like playing soccer and I'm like stretching in the corner. I'm like, I was very into martial arts since I was very little. And I was obsessed with it, of understanding the human body and like kicking and learning all these things. And yeah, since very, very young, man.
So you knew from a young age that you wanted to emulate all of these amazing martial artists that you were seeing, and that ended up creating some sort of passion in you to learn about the human body, like anatomy-wise and all of that stuff, and what fuels you properly?
Yeah. Actually, the journey started with that understanding the human body and studying performance. And then I started studying high performance athlete and nutrition and what makes you recover better, what type of training makes you jump higher or kick faster, or so that was a long search of trying and error, and was that got me for many years and on studying, doing a big study. And
yeah.
At the same time, back then was not even a possibility or even a dream to be in a movie, right? Because in Latin America, in Chile, like the movie industry didn't exist. We never seen martial arts movies in Latin America ever, right? So I never actually put it together. Like, yes, I saw Bruce Lee, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do martial arts. Maybe I'm gonna teach in a school or gonna go to a tournament. So I joined the national team of Taekwondo to train in Chile. But then life kind of put me in the right places where I met, for example, I arrived to Mexico and I met Jose Luis Mosca, that it was a champion in kickboxing, and he was actually doing some movies, like low budget movies, like narco movies and stuff like that, with Los Hermanos Almada, Toño Infante. Like there was a golden age of Mexican filmmaking where they were actually doing this like really low budget movies for the Latinos that are living in the US but don't speak English, right? So they were doing these videos like, like back to back, like many of these movies. So I was like, wow, this is possible. And I did some of those movies. Actually, I did one comedy with Juan Camaney, very big comedian in Mexico, and back then with Los Hermanos Almada. I was able to work But like actually it was my first encounter with the camera. Like I've never did anything before, and suddenly I'm there just making a movie and like trying to act. It was so funny, And then I got a scholarship in Televisa. Eugenio Cobo invited me to take the full course there, and then to be part of Televisa and start working in soap operas. But then when he saw my passion with martial arts, he kind of said, Marco, man, you can have a very successful career here, but we just do drama. You're not gonna be kicking anybody. So at the most, you're gonna get some slap. You're gonna get a slap from someone.
Right. You're not gonna counter her, right?
Yeah, you're gonna counter that slap, for sure. And then so then I'm like, wow, man, I really appreciated how honest and then how he opened the doors for me. It's like, whenever you do whatever you want. If you want to go around and try and then come back, we're always going to have the doors open for you. And that was very nice. But that was a very important moment for me to kind of follow that call inside and just start again and go to the US and just start from the ground again, from zero. And then and start getting into the movie industry in Hollywood, that they were doing the action and all the stuff, of course.
Claro.
So and then my first kind of big break was when I doubled The Rock on the movie The Rundown.
There you go.
So that was my first like big thing, like being in Universal Studios doing this crazy movie, big production, trying to learn from everything,
What was your very first impression when you landed, when that plane landed and the doors opened and you saw what you saw? What was your very first impression?
It was like, it was damn, like, this is not like, because coming from Mexico, in Mexico, I felt so welcome by the people, everybody, was so nice. Here it was different. It was like, you felt like, oh, I'm by myself here. It was,
Really?
this is gonna be tough. I didn't feel the same. To be honest, it was tough. That it was harder, to kind of engage with people and all that. Eventually, everything ended up to be good.
Yeah.
But that first thing, I think, Latinos, man, we're more. I felt like the best friend of everybody the first day.
Claro.
It was crazy. Like Mexico was so nice.
Yeah.
They treated me so good, and everything happened. Here was. When I arrived to the US, it was a little tougher, man. It was a little tougher. It was hard, my first goal was to find a job, doing whatever, so I can pay my bill and just be there, be here, And I remember being in a very like, rough place, like having just like a mattress on the floor with nothing, But then I opened the window and I saw the Hollywood sign. I was right in a place where you could see it. And it was just, man, I was so happy, and I was like, damn, man, I'm in Hollywood, it was crazy.
In Hollywood, so good.
Yeah.
Now, what did you feel the first time walking onto that set and seeing The Rock and knowing that, man, I'm gonna double this man right here in this major Hollywood movie?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was a lot of adrenaline, a lot of like, I don't want to screw it up. It's like, man.
No lo cagues.
Yeah, no la cagues. See. Man. But everyone was so nice. The Rock he's the best, man.
Yeah.
He's so cool. He was so cool, man. Man, it was a big moment for me because I've worked with Andy Cheng, that is like the right-hand side of Jackie Chan's team when he moved to the US.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned how to put all my martial arts into film. I learned the previs, I learned how they rehearse, and then the camera, and then the editing. And so that was a big school for me to work next to Andy and being able to have that experience with the team. And then that's how I learned to then start doing my own movies in Chile and I actually did the first Latin American martial arts film that it was put in a theater. It was Kiltro. And that was because I kind of took all that from the rundown, and I applied in a low budget way in Chile, trying to mimic what we did over there.
You know what? Let me ask you a little bit more about your martial arts. From what I was reading when I was doing my research on you initially, it seemed as though a lot of your martial arts, because you know a lot of things, right? Aikido, Taekwondo, like karate. It all seemed very. It seemed. How do I put it? It seemed a lot of it seemed Japanese based, and I'm wondering if you ever dabbled in the world of kung fu, let's say, or Shaolin, or anything like that.
Yeah, well, I did because of my fanatismo. I don't know what
Fanaticism, yeah.
fanatism for Bruce Lee. I always wanted to do kung fu.
Yeah.
But because of Chile, it was hard to find a kung fu teacher. So I did karate, I did taekwondo, and then I was always trying to learn from like Wing Chun or like the long form of kung fu, like shoulder foot and stuff like that. So, but then, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to me when I really kind of started my good level in martial arts is when I totally got detached of all styles and I started my own search, and I started like studying like human performance and like athletes, how they train to kind of enhance the ability, and then trying different things like boxing, acrobatics. Actually, up to today, I'm doing a lot of like mobility, like animal flow is known as animal flow, mixing it with martial arts to kind of like always challenging your body with different techniques and not just stick to one only technique, you know?
Okay.
So that's kind of what I've been doing right now and in my last movies that I've been doing, yeah.
Continuing in the tradition of Bruce Lee, right? Trying to disconnect from all the rigidity of the styles and trying to make your own, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Man, you're truly inspired by that guy.
yeah, but the funny, you know what the funny thing is that back then there was no YouTube, there was not a lot of information. So the only thing that I knew from Bruce Lee was about his movies and what you can get from his movies. So, but the funny thing is that now that I know more about Bruce Lee because there's much more information, I kind of realized that the paths were very similar in terms of I was never so into a style. I started studying human performance and all that. And then I realized, wow, there was a connection there because the way that I learn and I study martial arts and what martial arts meant for me was very similar. And now I make it was cool. It was like he was the first actually doing what I was doing, and I didn't even know. But then, wow, he was training with the weights. He was doing all these trainings that they were not the traditional way that martial arts people trained back then. You know.
So cool. Continuing on with your career, you've done so many international movies as well as U.S. movies. I guess, would you say that maybe being perceived as cosmopolitan helps to open those doors and helps you get accepted more into a broader range of films, let's say?
Yeah, well, today, yes, because I think every day there's more appreciation for this diversity. You're right. Maybe a couple of years ago, or I don't know, more than a couple of years ago, it was harder. Today, I think it's hard to see a movie without that difference of cultures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yes, for sure. I think it helps, and you always bring a different element. Like I think it brings a different flavor to the movie. You adding all these different cultures, you know.
Yeah.
Especially in the world today, that is everything. You know, everybody is everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, your new movie, John Wick 4. Tell me about your experience creating this movie, man.
Oof, man. What can I say, man? It's like, it's after such a long journey, receiving that phone call from Chad Stahelski, it's like, es como, no mames, me pincha. Como que no, you don't know if you're dreaming. You know what I'm saying? You don't know, like you have that feeling that is kind of blurry. You don't know if you're gonna wake. This is happening or not. Like your body goes to it was crazy, man. And and it happened such in a special place because we were coming from the pandemic. I thought that was the end of the world.
Yeah.
And then in the quarantine, I shoot this small project, The Fist of the Condor, and I did a trailer, and then with that trailer, when the things clear up, I show it to my friend JJ, just whatever, and then he show it to Chad, or something happened there that I received this phone call and this offer straight. So it was crazy because that project, I did it with any expectation. I thought that it was my retirement. So it's crazy how life, but I still did it, I could have been in a place where, this is over, I'm just gonna change the focus, I'm gonna stop these martial arts movies or whatever, I gotta think different, right? But no, there was something there. I said, no, man, you have to you have to continue with your thing no matter what, even if it's for just put it in YouTube or whatever, or just, you know what I'm saying? But just, you gotta stay honest to who you are, and then I did that, and look what happened, so for me, that was a big message, for me to stay honest to who you are all the time, even though it seems sometimes that things can get hard, to be awake, and there. So when I got that call, man, it was just amazing. And Chad called me and said, hey, Marko, I've been seeing your stuff. People talk to me about you. I will really invite you to be part of this. Read the script, see if you like it. And I'm like, I like it. He's like, no, just read it first, man. Read it, léelo primero, man.
She's like, nah, I know what it is.
I got it. He's like, I do fast reading. Like, okay, I like it. He laughed, and then he goes, yeah, man, let's talk. Okay, so I read the thing, and of course it was amazing. And he's like, yeah, man. And I was there.
There it is. Y tu pasión did not let you stop. Your passion didn't let you stop. And look, all the wonders that came afterward, man. So nice. So we lost just a tremendous actor, Lance Reddick. What's your most beautiful memory of Lance?
Well, I did have some little opportunity to share with him in the movie. I had one scene with him, but all I can say, he was just such a nice guy, man. Such a, we had you had a little talk, I was able to share with him on set a little bit and have a little conversation about nutrition. He's such a nice human being, man. I was so happy to be able to share with him, and so sorry for what happened. But I'm sure wherever he is, he's gonna be so happy when he sees this movie and when he see how people will appreciate him, because he was just amazing, man.
Eso, definitivamente. Okay, I know they're gonna wrap me up. 30 seconds. Sell me this movie. Why do I need to go see John Wick 4?
Man, you gotta go see John Wick 4 because it's gonna be the wildest ride that you're gonna have. It's incredibly bringing the martial arts action genre into the next level. You're gonna see things that you've never seen. So make sure you bring your seatbelt to the theater, because trust me, man, it's gonna be a wild ride, man. It's taking it to the next level.
Eso, Marko, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Continued success y que Dios te bendiga. Que te continúe a bendecir.
Muchas gracias. Y también los dejo. I invite you guys to be in tune for The Fist of the Condor, because that little project, I got distribution, and it's going to be played in the US too. So it's going to be in the Haya channel.
Ooh.
So imagine that.
So we got to do it. So we got to do this again when the movie comes out.
Oh, man, for sure. Let's do it.
All right, hermanito. Hablamos ahorita.
Nos vemos.
Thank you all so much for watching When Zay Zay Met. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified when we upload more conversations with celebrities and other interesting people. Now, if you'd like to see your favorite celebrity on the show, it's simple. Just tell us who that is by leaving us a comment down below. We hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you on the next one. Hasta la próxima. Lo quiero del corazón.